these questions, but why did you decide to leave Saturday Night Live? You'd been with it 1 year, and it was going great. Did you just get bugged?
I was fired, John.
Well, what happened is I had done his show many, many times and considered him a friend of mine. And all of a sudden, a whole new brand of humor started to be displayed.
That's all. Well, it's just people. That's how I don't look at no color of people. You know, if everybody was blind, we wouldn't have no prejudice.
Here's why Johnny Carson banned these celebrities from The Tonight Show. And no, it wasn't just about bad jokes. From Joan Rivers, who was cut off for life after taking a rival late-night gig, to Richard Pryor, who showed up high and went completely off script on live TV, to Shelley Winters, who straight up threw a drink in Johnny's face. These weren't just awkward moments. They were career-shaking bans that sometimes lasted decades. Carson ran his stage like a kingdom. And once you crossed him, there was no coming back.
Well, I guess next time you're here, I better book Bella Ebbs or something.
She's not that good looking without makeup.
Joan Rivers was one of Johnny Carson's favorite guests. She started as a struggling comedian, and Carson gave her a big break on The Tonight Show. He even told her live on TV, "You're going to be a big star." Because of that, many people thought they were close friends for life. But everything changed in 1986. At the time, Joan was still a regular guest host for Carson when NBC offered her nothing long-term. Then Fox offered Joan her own late-night show. She accepted, but out of loyalty, she tried to call Carson first to tell him. Johnny never took her call. The night her show was announced, Carson found out from the news. He felt betrayed because he believed she went behind his back to compete with him. Carson immediately banned Joan Rivers from The Tonight Show forever. He never spoke to her again, not even when her husband committed suicide or when she publicly apologized. For decades, she wasn't allowed to step on The Tonight Show stage, even when Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien were hosts. Joan said the ban broke her heart because she loved Carson like a father. She finally returned in 2014 after Jimmy Fallon became host almost 30 years later. But Carson never forgave her. He died in 2005 without ever reconciling. Wayne Newton, the famous Las Vegas singer, had a public feud with Johnny Carson that turned very ugly.
Well, what happened is I had done his show many, many times and considered him a friend of mine. And all of a sudden, a whole new brand of humor started to be displayed by him.
Carson often joked about Newton on the show, sometimes calling him names and making fun of rumors about his private life. Newton laughed it off at first, but over time, the jokes hurt his career and personal reputation. One day, Wayne Newton had enough. He reportedly stormed into Carson's office off camera and confronted him face to face. Some reports say Newton even threatened Carson, and the meeting ended in a shouting match. After that day, Johnny banned Wayne Newton from the show permanently. Newton later said Carson used his platform to bully him and spread false stories. The feud lasted years, and Wayne said the ban was actually a relief because he never wanted to sit on Carson's couch again. Comedian Andy Kaufman was one of the wildest guests on The Tonight Show.
All I want is an apology. Even you asked me last time I was on your show if I was going to have a lawsuit, and I could have sued you. I could have sued you for everything you're worth.
Well,
and I didn't, because I'm not that kind of a guy.
Yeah. You know what?
What kind of a guy are you?
He loved doing strange stunts and never told anyone what was real or fake. His alter ego, Tony Clifton, was a rude lounge singer who insulted everyone. One night, Kaufman showed up as Tony Clifton and got into a loud fight on set. Some say it was staged, but Carson hated it. After another appearance where Andy stayed in character and refused to play along, Carson banned him.
Bullshit! You are full of bullshit, my friend. I will sue you for everything you have. I will sue your ass. You're a motherfucking asshole!
Andy's ban became legendary. He later said he wasn't sure if Johnny was mad or just didn't understand his humor. After Kaufman died, the Tony Clifton character still wasn't welcome. Carson made it clear, no more Andy Kaufman chaos on his stage. Richard Pryor was one of the greatest comedians of all time, but he was also unpredictable. When he appeared on The Tonight Show, Carson never knew what would come out of his mouth.
You know, I say to myself, I said, if this man was standing on a street corner talking like he's talking, you'd go, excuse me.
Pryor had a raw style and loved to tell the truth, even if it made people uncomfortable. That's exactly what got him banned. On one infamous night, Richard went completely off script. He used profanity on live TV, made jokes about race and politics that NBC thought were too risky, and even hinted at Johnny's personal life. The network was furious. Carson, who valued control over his show, decided he couldn't take the risk anymore. Richard later admitted that he was high during some of his appearances, which only made things more unpredictable. NBC banned him for a long period, and Carson personally told the producers not to invite him back until he cleaned up. The ban didn't last forever, but it showed how wild Pryor's genius could be. Years later, he returned to the show, calmer and more focused. But that early ban became part of his legend. Pryor himself joked about it, saying, "Only Johnny Carson can fire you without ever hiring you again." Shelley Winters was a Hollywood legend, but she was also known for having a temper. During one of her Tonight Show appearances, things got heated when she thought Carson was mocking her age and career.
Well, I always wanted to be several things. I thought that if I were a little taller that I would have another body altogether, and I always thought that that would be nice. But,
Yeah.
but this one, this one is works.
Looks very serviceable. Yeah.
Thanks.
In the middle of the interview, Shelley shocked everyone. She grabbed her drink, splashed it on Carson, and walked off the set. The audience gasped. Carson, who hated losing control of the show, was not amused. He banned her immediately after that episode. Winters later claimed she was just joking, but Johnny didn't see it that way. He refused to have her back for years, saying he didn't want that kind of drama on live TV. When she finally returned much later, she apologized. But that one moment of anger became one of the most famous bans in Tonight Show history. Chevy Chase was a rising star from Saturday Night Live when he appeared on The Tonight Show. But his first guest appearance went so badly that Carson banned him for a long time.
All these questions, but why did you decide to leave Saturday Night Live? You'd been with it 1 year, and it was going great. Did you just get bugged?
I was fired, John.
Chevy's humor was very sarcastic, and he made a few jokes that sounded like he was insulting Carson. He also interrupted Johnny several times, trying to be the funniest guy in the room. Carson didn't like that one bit. After the show, he told producers, "Don't book him again." Chevy later admitted he came off arrogant because he was nervous. It took years before Carson finally allowed him back. The band taught Chevy an important lesson. You don't upstage Johnny Carson on his own stage. Red Fox, the star of Sanford and Son, was a comedy legend known for his raw humor. When he appeared on The Tonight Show, Johnny expected some edgy jokes, but one night Red went way too far for NBC's comfort.
That's all. Well, it's just people. That's how I don't look at no color of people. If everybody was blind, we wouldn't have no prejudice.
During his interview, Red started telling raunchy stories from his nightclub days. He used language that wasn't allowed on network TV and made a joke so explicit that the audience gasped. Carson tried to save the moment by laughing it off, but NBC executives were furious. What made it worse was that Red refused to apologize. He told the producers, "That's how I talk. You want Red Fox, you get all of me." Carson, who prided himself on keeping the show family-friendly, banned Red for years. Fox later said he didn't care about the ban because he was never going to censor himself. The incident added to his reputation as a fearless comedian who played by his own rules. It also became one of the most infamous bans in Tonight Show history. Morton Downey Jr. was known as the loudmouth of TV. His talk show was full of yelling and fights, and that's exactly what got him into trouble with Johnny Carson.
You were the king of controversial television. What do you think about what's going on television today?
Oh, Bobby, it's all entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with entertainment. That's not reality.
When Morton appeared on The Tonight Show, he brought his aggressive style with him. He interrupted Carson, argued with the other guests, and even started shouting at the audience. Johnny, who liked calm and controlled interviews, was visibly annoyed. The final straw came when Morton insulted one of the other guests live on air. After the taping, Carson told his staff, "That guy's never coming back."
Don't tell me what you did, tell me what you'll do.
NBC agreed. Downey was banned for good. Morton later bragged about the ban, saying he shook up Carson's show. But many saw it as proof that his loud style didn't belong on a classy stage like The Tonight Show. Don Rickles, the king of insults, was one of Johnny Carson's favorite guests, but even he managed to get himself temporarily banned. Rickles was famous for roasting everyone, including Carson, But one night he went a little too far.
That show is annoying, Ed. I'll tell you.
During a guest spot, Rickles cracked a joke that hit too close to home about Carson's recent divorce. The audience laughed, but Johnny's face went stone cold. After the show, Carson told producers to put Rickles on ice for a while. What made the story legendary was what happened later. When Carson was away, Rickles accidentally broke Johnny's cigarette box on the guest desk.
A wife that just sits up in Bel Air. She was an airline hostess, had nothing. Now she goes, send in another box! Come on, Ed, you're not going to retire. You told me you're waiting for him to take a cab so you can sit there and have Star Search.
When Johnny came back the next night, he barged into Rickles' live taping of CPO Sharkey and confronted him on air. That unscripted moment became one of TV's funniest clips. The band didn't last forever. Rickles and Carson were too close, but it showed that even the king of insults could push Johnny too far. Bobcat Goldthwait was a wild comedian known for his chaotic energy.
Let me televise, so I'd like to say this first. If you ever see me getting beaten up by the police, or if you see me getting beaten up by anybody, put the video camera down and help me.
During one Tonight Show appearance in the 90s, he took things to another level. While on Carson's stage, Bobcat suddenly lit the guest chair on fire as part of a joke. The audience thought it was hilarious at first, but NBC didn't. The flames had to be quickly put out, and the network called it one of the most dangerous stunts in Tonight Show history. Carson wasn't laughing either. After the show, he banned Bobcat for destroying studio property and risking a fire on live television. NBC fined Bobcat thousands of dollars for the damage. Years later, Bobcat admitted it was a stupid stunt and said, "I don't blame Johnny for banning me. He was right." Gilbert Gottfried was known for his wild voice and over-the-top jokes.
A man goes to a doctor. He says, "Doctor, I don't know if my wife has TB or VD." The doctor says, "Chase her around the bed. If she coughs, fuck her."
When he appeared on The Tonight Show, Carson expected him to push boundaries. But one night, Gilbert went way beyond what NBC would allow. During his set, Gilbert made a string of edgy jokes that included adult themes and a political punchline NBC considered offensive. The studio audience laughed nervously, but Carson's reaction was a blank stare. After the segment, Johnny reportedly told the producers, "That's the last time he's on my stage."
You always work with your eyes closed.
Yes, it's a thing I picked up from Helen Keller. She said, "Look, if it works for you, fine."
The band stuck for years. Gilbert later joked about the incident, saying, "When Johnny Carson bans you, it's like the comedy gods putting a lock on the door." While he eventually returned to late-night TV on other shows, his Tonight Show ban was a reminder that even talented comics had to play by Carson's rules, or not play at all.